Greetings and welcome to a Friday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is December 6th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing all right. I gotta say, I'm in a tsunami warning right now.
What's that? What?
There's an earthquake in Eureka, California, and which is up north. It's in true Northern California.
I think that's where Lanto Griffin's from. Don't quote me on that, but it's useless facts. Go ahead. What's in Eureka? What happened? So the waves are coming? Don't you live on top of like a mountain or close to? You're at elevation, no?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm in the inner valley. I just got a amber, like then your phone goes nuts.
Yeah.
So the tsunami warnings from Southern Oregon all the way down to San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
Wild times.
Wow,
but
that's nuts.
But also why I'm okay. Brendan, the fourth rug is on the way. The fourth rug
Chronicles
to my house. I currently have 2 other rugs in my house that have been down on the floor, have been examined, and just deemed not winners that are waiting to be returned.
Yeah.
How many rugs are we going to get to? I've taken apart and reorganized my living room now.
I'm going to go to 5. I don't think this is the final chapter. I'm going to go to 5.
I will be at 7 reorganizations, moving all my furniture out and on for the 7th time when this 4th rug gets here.
I'm going to go to 5. I'm going to extend it. I think this is not yet the final chapter. Penultimate.
When this rug was ordered, the comment was, I don't really think I like it. Based off looking at it on the computer, but it still got ordered.
Oh, no. That's not an optimistic sign. That's a tough one. That's tough. We're going through this. So one of my kids...
One rug's sitting in our living room, and I said, hey, when are we going to return this one? And she said,
it might come back.
We have 30 days to return it. And I said, well, it might hit the credit card before then. So why don't we get it back? Get that return. Is it
possible that one gets back in the rotation?
She said it's possible.
Pull it back in. Yeah. That's why it's not out the house yet, because we're gonna have to check some things. God, this is the way it goes. We're dealing with this. I have multiple birthdays. December sucks. Maybe put a little holiday cheer in your step. December's the worst. We got to put the shoes out tonight. That's the thing. So more shit. That's a Midwestern PJ making a face. St. Nicholas Day. That's my tradition. Put the shoes out. Bunch of gifts to your shoes. Birthdays back to back next week. Kids, like my wife got him a backpack. We're at the mall last night to get pictures. He's like, I like this backpack. Some big backpacks outside the return date, apparently. So we're stuck with a backpack, but now he wants a new one that he saw last night. My daughter's going to something called Sephora, asking for these, I don't know, it's just skincare routine. I said, you're 8. What's the skincare? What do you mean? There's no care that needs to be taken. But this is a new thing. The gifts are, we were getting things that we're asking to return them. Now I don't want this back. I want the one I saw. It's kind of our own little rug dilemma. But December is, the anxiety is ramping up with all we got to take care of over the next 10 days. That's not even getting to Christmas. I just got an update. I feel for your back-to-back birthdays. That's tough. It's in the holiday season. And the second leg of the back-to-back was the 4th child, who, like, she was little. Like, you don't need to know that we don't care about this right now. And now she's getting to the age where we need to impress upon some effort and care. But yeah, that's December.
I just got an update on Tsunami Watch.
How are we
tsunami? So it's 11:30 local here. A tsunami is expected at approximately high noon. If you are on a beach or very near the coast, evacuate immediately. If unable to go to higher ground, go to a second floor. Stay away from harbors, coastal, and low-lying areas until further notice.
Now there's just going to be some yokels just running right into this thing. They're going
Probably
to
a surfer.
the beach. They're not going away from. They're going to the beach. I'm curious to see if this turns into anything, or it's all much ado about nothing. Like, what's the guarantee rate? What's the hit rate on a tsunami forecast?
The surfer influencers have to be running with their videographer to get them on the wave.
Like those tornado chasers, they're like running to the waves, running into the danger. That's pretty good. Pretty good. While we're on the subject of gifting and the challenge of gifting, might I just point you in the direction, a little something called Club TFE. It's holiday season. Honestly, my biggest gripe about gift giving is the physical nature of the shit that piles up in your house. You got rugs in the corner. You've got toys with a million pieces. You've got skincare products just piling up and over the medicine cabinet. Club TFE, not that valuable, enriching, entertaining, and supporting, hopefully, a group of people, some of them idiots, some of them sharp, that you may like. We put a ton. I promise you, some subscriptions are just like, give us your money. You may get something, you may not. Who knows? What may. You might have early access to this, that, or the other. That is a part of Club TFE. But being on these content calls, in these meetings, no time and effort isn't put into anything more. We are busting our ass to make sure good stuff is delivered in Club TFE. Whether you even know it's there or want it, we are putting in the effort to make sure the money you spend is put to work. And we are working hard on course profiles weekly, almost, but weekly, close to 50. Design notebook, a entirely unique piece of golf content in a sea that is mostly duplicative, repetitive, and uninteresting. That is unique. Great piece of content from Garrett Morrison on some rumors in the design world, some architecture insights. Hangouts.
I just wrote something this week for profile.
He's a beefy boy.
My 4-year-old asked me if I wanted to go to the park yesterday. I said, no. I got to finish writing about Sedge Valley. Well, people demand it.
By way of emphasis, we take the money you spend on the content seriously. And maybe we don't get to go to the park with our kid because we got to deliver on that promise. And, it's not just content. You get early access to events. You get club events only. We got some nice club events. We have Mountain Lake. We got a few foursomes of Mountain Lake. You get some nice tee times at places around our events that we, you can't necessarily hype up months in advance. But, hey, we're in the area. There's maybe a very primo course we can get you on. That happens to some Club TFE members. So it's a lot more than the content we're busting our butt on.
There also might be a new website in the works.
I mean, I think we're beyond the might stage. It's coming. It's going. We got someone with real chops and responsibility working on it. So that's the point. The money is not put into frivolous boondoggles. It is put into investing into going to see more courses, making more content, creating more experiences for you. And that is Club TFE, a great gift for the golf in your life.
We're almost at the 2-year anniversary of Club TFE. The great news for anybody that hasn't jumped into the hottest club in town is there's 2 years of great content in there. Like you could spend all winter. Value. You could spend all winter in the northern hemisphere or in the northern part of the country, just discovering things that you never knew were made in there.
Yeah. Give it as a gift. Print it out. Hand it to somebody. Doesn't pile up.
There's
in the corner.
Gifting option. There's actually a gifting option.
Oh, really? I wasn't aware of that. I'm not up to speed on all that.
You can click a little box. This is a gift.
All right. Fabulous.
All right.
Club
That's
TFE.
Enough on Club TFE.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Sunday Red, their new shoe offering? No, I don't need to talk about that. They said they're developed upon Tiger walking 40 million steps on a golf course. How'd they get that number?
Well, there's real speculation of how they got that number is AI.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this was a conversation in our Slack that you clearly missed, our company Slack. One of the members of our team put it into AI, how many steps did Tiger Woods walk? And it basically spit out the exact number that they're marketing.
Really?
Yeah.
And now we're going to get some highfalutin language around his 40 million steps. So that's good.
I think that Sunday Red is basically using AI to write their product descriptions.
Well, some of it does. Scan that preposterous. No human could come up with this bullshit. All right, so that's Sunday. Where do you want to go first? We could talk about the current ongoing events. We've got Cam Young going low at the Hero World Challenge, where Scottie is claw grip.
No way.
Yes, on the greens, putting today. He's gone to the claw grip. Number one player in the world by a significant margin. Maybe player of the year, likely. He's claw gripping it. I think he's still with the mallet.
That's a bad sign.
I was wondering. I mean, is this just something he's been cooking around with in the lab and he just wants to try it at the Hit and Giggle Hero? Or,
I think that's got to be it, right?
I would think so.
I remember at junior golf, I would always like fiddle around on the practice green before events in high school golf. And it's like, oh, like I made like 4 putts in a row cross-handed. Let's try it out.
Yeah.
That could be this. It could be like, you know what? I really like this claw. Here's the thing, though, with like putting, people that struggle with putting, it never gets fully better.
No.
The skeletons are always in the closet, and you're always searching for the quick fix. Yep,
that's true.
And we saw, even with the mallet, the putter got like completely exposed at the Open this year.
True. Yeah,
could not feel good about it.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about the other day?
What?
Is it that sand scrape on the... Was it at Troon or was it at Lytham? The sand scrape on 18?
It was Troon. It was 18.
Yeah.
Who had the hard hook that barely cleared it?
Scottie
almost hit play. It's obviously just decorative. Yeah, Scottie had the hard hook.
I was thinking about it the other day. I just like started to laugh because that preposterousness of that. Just 17 holes without seeing anything like it. Then the 18th is like, whoa!
It's totally like he landed on the moon now. All of a sudden, new landscape. Yeah, elsewhere, our early leader Hero World Challenge, Cam Young. He's 7 under through 16. Who knows where this goes? Dunlap is 2 back. You got names behind him. Is it good or bad that his first PGA Tour accredited, whatever this is, whatever they want to call it, win would be the Hero? Seems like he needs to take a dive, and this can't be it. This can't be, well, I grind it out, like where Scottie's just tinkering with claws. You got other guys just kind of been hanging around. Cam Young notoriously, or not notorious, but been close, but never, always a bridesmaid, never won. And he wins a PGA Tour qualifier, whatever they call it, eligible event at the Hero World Challenge. I don't think this can be the breakthrough.
Well,
I don't think this can be it.
Hold on. Let's remember, we're going to get Tiger's 83rd win is going to happen at a TGL event.
No, that's not.
I think you might be underrating the potential for a big NYGC weekend. If Juan Soto decides to sign with the Mets and Cam Young gets his first win, quote unquote. There's a lot of synergy.
Hey, PJ, as a gambling expert on this podcast, should I be cashing out my Nick Dunlap? I bet him 30 to 1. Was it 30 to 1 that I bet him?
Did you really bet him?
No, I didn't bet him.
I was gonna say
Dunlap is now 16 to 1. Is this when one of those apps would offer me a cash out? Do I just take the cash out and run right now?
I would not take the cash out and run. It's 20 guys. He's already winning. Like what? Why would you quit on it now?
Well, I'm just asking.
Cam Young has a tough time closing. Dunlap does not. He's already got 2 dubs.
No,
I was looking. Believe it or not, the Cam Young leader, they had me just sick in the head looking at Hero World Challenge history and trends. And I mean, the roll call of winners, like he would be a dip. If everybody was a major championship winner, except for Ricky, Hovland won it twice, but he's
Ricky
young.
won the
He's
5th
early.
major.
He did. And LD, Luke Donald won it in 2005. But everybody else is a major champion winner, let alone like a PGA Tour winner. And this would be Cam Young getting his first quote unquote win. But he's early on. That's early at the Hero World Challenge. Do you have any other thoughts on Albany, the Bahamas?
Yeah. I have some thoughts on Finau.
Oh, sure. What about him?
Again, this is what I said Wednesday. How preposterous is this that, like, if anybody WDs, it's immediately they're going to LIV. Well, it turns out he got a knee surgery. He still might go to LIV at some point,
He could.
At some point he might go. But, oh, no, I just got a knee. I got a surgery on my knee. So that's why I'm not there. I mean, how silly does everybody look?
Pretty ridiculous. I heard like it was known that he had a knee thing, like amongst the players, and I think it was Shoepack that called him, and supposedly he was just like,
this is a content machine. I think we might need to hire Shoepack.
Nobody called me. Nobody called me to ask. And Shoepack called him and asked, said no, not going to LIV. That's all it is. Well, I don't know what the rumors are. No, nobody bothered to call me. It just started the rumor train. But yeah, what do we think? That was like a 24-hour time and period where like, this is the big one. This is the first of the big one. The big ones are coming. Now we have Flushing It on Twitter, who's, over the years been connected, seen some of the smoke, sort of understood, says, I don't think anything's coming. I think unlike prior years, I don't think he was necessarily hyping stuff. I don't think he got into Finau. He just said, it doesn't. I think this is a little different than prior off seasons. I wouldn't expect anything big. So that doesn't mean that there isn't. But you check in on Twitter on like Tuesday, and it felt like the sky was falling. So and now it's some people are saying the opposite. And Finau is categorically
what the reality is.
What?
Nobody knows shit.
Sure. Fair. That's all I got.
Anybody that knows stuff, guess what they're not doing?
Talking about it?
Tweeting about it.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a whole anyways. Yeah. There's an industry of that going on. So,
that's the thing with Twitter. It's just a ridiculous place. It's like if you say, like, if you actually have information, it's like very unlikely that you're going to tweet something about it. And then, like, the value of tweeting something preposterous is actually high. You gain all these followers, and there's no downside when you're wrong. It's not like anyone's like, oh, I was wrong.
Yeah.
It's not like the followers leave.
Yeah. I would say with this podcast, when we have information,
the reputable thing people do is they find out information, they dig it, and then they write an article. But those don't even appear on Twitter anymore. Those just don't exist. They're
not allowed.
Downvoted, or they're 5 people see them when you tweet an article.
Elsewhere in the world of golf, fried egg belt wearing Saudi International leading Logan McAllister is leading the Saudi International.
Oh, he could get his LIV. He could get his LIV.
So we didn't mention this on schedule for the week. I don't think it's on TV here in the States. But look at this. Logan McAllister, who wears a fried egg belt. I don't know if he still does, but was at Pinehurst still.
I think we sent him a bunch of new gear after Pinehurst.
It's McAllister, Neiman, Cam Smith, and Peter Uihlein. He's swimming with the Sharks. Cam Smith, Neiman, Uihlein, and then we got Logan McAllister, all tied. Tyrrell's in there, Big J Kokrak, Matt Jones, Louis Oosthuizen. So like some big hitters at the Saudi International playing well. Someone who's not playing well. This was a Wednesday to Saturday event. Missed the cut. Golf Saudi's latest ambassador, Dustin Johnson, misses the cut. So we got everybody. He's dead in the top. Hatton, Neiman, Cam Smith. DJ misses the cut, but this is the announcement. Golf Saudi is doing such a great job of promoting the game of golf and trying to get more people involved here in Saudi Arabia and around the world. Me now being a Golf Saudi ambassador, I'm very proud to be a part of that, and I really want to help grow the game in Saudi. So he missed the cut.
Do you think DJ actually said that?
He wants to help grow the game in Saudi?
Do you think it was a prepared statement, or do you think he said that?
I mean, I do.
Like, could you see him with a mic in front of his face actually saying that? No, there's no way.
What I heard actually this week, this is fairly substantiated. Someone who may know him a little bit said he's never looked happier. Absolute case of senioritis. Totally, like, I'm out, like, total senioritis going on with DJ, but he's never looked happier. Wants to be on the boat, having a good time. He's done. I'm not saying he's done. He's never going to compete again, but the ship has come in for DJ, and now he's got a Saudi ambassadorship too.
The thing too is, like, there's, with all the money in pro golf, and especially in his case,
got a major, got two.
There's nothing wrong to being like 40. He's what, 42?
Almost. What is he, 40? I think he's just about 40.
I think he's.
Oh yeah, he's our age. He's my age. I think he's like 41, maybe. I think
40 years old.
40. Okay.
Most pro athletes at age 40, they're done. Golf's like a rare sport, and he's probably, with the Saudi money he's made, I don't know, $400 million.
Who knows?
It's okay to just be like, you know what? I'm done. This corroborates the story of the bagger staff at the Floridian calling him an endangered species. his place of practice. Haven't seen him all year.
Wants to be on the boat with his boys, his kids, his friends, and senioritis. I thought was a great sort of analogy for it. We got a shot clock right now. Cam Young's waiting 10 minutes.
West Berkeley is a mandatory evacuation.
Cal Golden Bears, is that where they are?
They're up the hill a little bit.
Okay,
but they're that down low level.
I hope everybody's okay. You're just getting hit with tsunami warnings while we record this.
I might have to leave. Might have to leave mid-recording.
That's the Saudi International.
Have you ever heard about the super flood theories in California?
No, I would have occasion to hear about that or know about that.
They have this like theory. There's this belief that in the next 100 years that California is just going to get hit with some like biblical storm that's gonna that's gonna like create like a super flood that like basically just floods the entire state.
Okay. I mean, anybody can have a theory these days. Interesting. I'd like to read the journal. It was a New York Times. The New York Times did like a huge, massive piece about it. One of your former employers. Yeah, someone would say that fake New York Times. Who knows? Everything's fake now. We also got the college event in Pinehurst. We didn't even get into. I forgot to mention that on Wednesday. There's a college event in Pinehurst. That's a big one. Big fall event. Guys on their way there. Stanford, I know, is in that. Good. What's the name of it? Oh, the NCCGA Collegiate National Championship at Pinehurst. So that's a good one. On the weekend. Who's in that? What teams? I know Stanford is. That's all I know. Somebody who's on the Stanford team who's going there. That's all I got. I mean, I'm not going to give you that ton of research time. I apologize. And then at the Ned Bank, Max Homa defending the Ned Bank, Africa's down in Africa, South Africa. Gary Player, Sun City. If he wins, he's just gonna have to keep going every year. I'm not saying he doesn't like it, but as defending champ, he's gonna have a December trip to South Africa every year. But Homa, you know what that is? That's an example of jamming yourself. You should be walking up the 72nd hole thinking about, if I win this, then it means I always have to come back to this. Or else they'll say you turned your back on this championship. The money's probably all right. He's beating Aki Stirdom by 1 down at the Ned Bank. Zalatoris is there. This is the time of year where people say I'm best shape of my life, never been better. Zalatoris
Are you in the best shape of your life?
No, I'm in terrible. I'm in the worst shape of the last 5 years. But I'm
Marin,
working on it.
My county's calling me. Do you want me to pick this up? See what it is?
What is
Should I
the
put
county?
It on speaker?
It's an automated message from the county. What are they saying?
Hello.
What are they going to tell you?
The following message is an important notification from Alert Marin.
This is an Alert Marin message. Tsunami warning has been issued for the Marin County's ocean and bay coastline. A tsunami is expected at approximately 12 p.m.
Oh, my.
If you are on a beach or very near the coast, evacuate immediately.
All right. I think we got enough.
All right.
Tsunami.
Luckily, are you a coastline?
No, I'm not. I don't live in those high rent areas.
I was going to say people in Marin. Yeah.
Pray for Marin.
I just searched tsunami. The first tweet is what surviving the great SF tsunami taught me about B2B sales. Thread 1 of 100. All you Northern Californians.
Central,
whatever.
The tsunami started in Northern.
Zalatoris has apparently put on 15 pounds of muscle. So he's getting his speed back. He's coming for it. So I mean, I have no reason to doubt him. I have no reason to be skeptical of his optimism at all. Just this is the season for those declarations. I hope he's fully back and strong and fast.
Joseph and I had a big discussion on the Fried Egg Pod just yesterday about Will Zalatoris and how, given the last couple of years, he's a breakout candidate. The thing that I saw in there that I think he clearly realizes is the speed. The speed was what wasn't there last year, and that he's clearly working to get back because he picked up some speed in I want to say like between 20 and 21. Mm-hmm. When was the Brookline? Brookline was 22.
Yeah.
So 21. He probably picked up that speed going into 22. And that was the year where he was a completely different player. And it was because of that speed. Yeah. That extra 15 yards just opened up a whole new dimension to his game. And last year, he had some nice finishes, but the speed was never there post-injury, post-swing changes. So it makes sense that it would take a while to get that speed back, but it'll be interesting to see.
You hope the back kind of stays, pain-free for him at least, or allows him to do what he wants to do. Elsewhere, the Ryder Cup pay gate is just, it's December 5th. Sergio's talking about Saudi International because Sergio wants to play. He's like, I'm going to play. I'm playing again. I'm working towards it. I know I've not been my best, but I've been good. I've been good in the Ryder Cups before, and I can be good again. And I'm going to get it. He wants to play, wants to go through it. He says he just popped them. He goes, the Americans it's never been an issue for the European players about paying. Takes away everything that the Ryder Cup stands for. The Americans seem to be making one. It's never been an issue for the Euros. Americans seem to be making it one. And now it seems like they will be getting something. Hopefully they are happy about that. But it doesn't help the Ryder Cup. We Europeans don't care if we get paid or not. That's not our priority. Our goal is to play as well as possible and for Europe to win. Scheffler was hammered about this, asked about it. He's like, I would pay to play. I think all Americans would pay to play. Speaking for everyone, I don't know if that's the case. He's like, I don't know if it makes sense.
Do you think Cantlay would?
No. I heard some great Cantlay stories lately. But no, I don't think everyone would.
Behind the paywall. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think everyone would. But he says, it doesn't make sense, maybe. The thing generates millions of dollars for us to pay, but I would pay to play. And you got JT being the politician, straddling the line, never wanting to make, knock off anyone. He says, I understand it's weird, touchy subject. And you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. I guess. Obviously, damned if you do, damned if you. All right.
How are you damned if you don't?
I don't know. I don't know.
Where's that? What is the downside to saying, oh, you know what? I just want to play. I guess the damned if you don't. The damned if you don't is you don't get the $1 million in your bank account or whatever.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could feel like you're being exploited. I don't know. Obviously, all of us would play if we weren't compensated. Maybe. We have been. Now, that does not necessarily mean that it's like you could look at it the same way as how it's obviously gotten out of hand with college athletes. Like college athletes, should they be compensated for how their name, image, and likeness was used? Yes. Is it something that should happen? You have people on both sides. I think this is something very similar. I don't know that he really took a stance there. I think he kind of has a point. I don't want to be kind of purely critical of JT. Like, there is a point to be made about the PGA just filling its coffers on this event. And with maybe some waste, maybe like some of these things, where does this money go? And like, what are they doing with it? Are they putting in like a third pizza oven in the cafeteria? I don't know if I'm not suggesting that's happening, but like, is it actually going to the club pros? Like, is it getting down to the grassroots level?
That's a good question.
Some of it. So like, I think there's a point some of that crowd the pros have, right? And whatever, they are the labor, the players are the labor, they are the draw. There is nothing without them. I get it, but holy shit, right now it seems like this is just the European press, the European players are going to make this. This is like they don't realize, but this is like it's a rallying point for the Europeans, right? Oh, they're making this into the biggest scandal between now and next September. They're already on it. Yeah. This is why the US team struggles. Why they are consistently the better team and they underperform is because they can't get out of their own way. I don't want to say like, I'm not trying to make this political, but like think about something that just feels sort of peripheral, right? I don't know, like say Hillary Clinton's emails, right? Like her emails, like that's a thing, a real substantive thing. But like the Euros are a dog with a bone. This is going to be every hyperbolic headline, and they're just going to hammer this story. It will get caustic. It will get corrosive. It will be distracting. It will just be a thing, and the PGA hasn't really said anything. It's really not denied it. And it's December 5th, and they got like 10 more months to just blow this up, and they will. I mean, there are going to be some like crazy dramatic headlines in European newspapers about this. And it's amazing what they're doing to make it a big thing here in December. I don't know. So that's my thought on that. What are you doing? Look at tsunami sirens. This is just influencers are out. Those are they're people are going down taking video of the tsunami sirens. The influencers are already out. I think everybody should appreciate I'm putting my life at risk today delivering this podcast. For all that you're doing, the least they could do is go to goodwalkcoffee.com. You're putting your life on the line. You could go buy a bag of coffee with proceeds going to the Friday Golf. Go to goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. You subscribe. Holiday Easy, another holiday gifting option. A consumable, useful good that doesn't pile up in the corner for coffee lover or even a newbie, a novice, neophyte, whatever it may be. You go to goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. Use the promo code SGS. You get 20% off your entire order with the promo code SGS. What? Hold on here. What? The tsunami's been canceled. Yes. The warning has been canceled. Of course. How does that happen? I mean, this is not to disregard the future warnings. We're not suggesting to not heed caution or take anything lightly. But of course it was canceled. This is from the Bay Area National Weather Service. The tsunami warning is canceled for coastal areas of California and Oregon. No tsunami danger presently exists for this area. This will be the final
U.S. National Tsunami Warning Center message for this region.
Sounds like the National Weather Service would have equally as much trouble deciding on a rug. And buying rugs, like, nope, we're going back on that one.
This is so exciting. My neighbor's text chain was just lighting up. People were talking about driving places so they could see the tsunami, and just canceled.
Well, instead they'll have to stay home and brew a
hey, you know what we got to talk about? The SGS Good Walk collab.
What
that
about
they can
it?
buy in our pro shop.
Oh, the holiday box.
It's the holiday box. It's got the holiday blend, which is delicious. It's
you like the holiday
Peruvian
blend.
coffee. Comes from a woman-owned farm in Peru. You get a tumbler with it. I was using my tumbler the other night. Took the dog for a walk, and I poured a little brewski in there, walking around the block. No, people think I'm just having maybe a sip of water, a sip of coffee. I was watching the sun go down. It was delightful in my little tumbler.
I've stopped bothering with the tumbler.
You just
Old man suburban.
Yeah,
that's a Coors Light. That's about, you see it, I see it. We're all neighbors. Nobody's doing anything nefarious out here.
I just don't want to get popped by in case the police.
Well, yeah, you're in a police state like California. You gotta watch out. They give you tsunami warnings when there's no danger.
Everybody says that people of California will be defunding the police. You know,
well,
turns out there still are police.
All right, so you get the tumbler,
and then you get the PJ head cover, SGS head cover. It was a Winston's collection head cover. It's a great gift. It's a great gift because the box comes. The box is like a custom box too.
It is. It's a nice presentation. Nice. Some good stuff. Good stuff.
You can buy those at proshop.thefriedegg.com.
And the other code, SGS, goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. You get 30% off your first order when you subscribe. Subscribe. It supports what we do. Gets you good coffee every morning. Kevin Kisner is the new NBC lead chair analyst. Also apparently still going to play golf. What are you doing? What's the commotion over there? It's just stuff falling all over.
There was a big earthquake too. That could have been an after effect. Again, I putting my life on the line, and you're giving me shit about moving stuff around here. Could have died today. Kevin
Kisner will serve as lead analyst for the majority of men's. I mean, that's every day. Every day could be it. That could be it. Kevin Kisner will serve as lead analyst for the majority of men's golf events on NBC. Majority, not all, including the U.S. Open, Open Championship, Players Championship, all caps, the FedEx Cup playoffs, and the Ryder Cup. He will also maintain a limited playing schedule on the PGA Tour.
Can I point something out?
Yeah, that's why we're here.
He's going to be the first ever. This is a historic moment. First ever lead analyst that also is a star of a TGL team.
Jupe Links.
That was actually the first thing I said this morning is that Jupe Links now has half of their team that doesn't really play golf anymore.
Is this like a Tom Brady conflict of interest deal? He's a player, he's a part owner in a team, and he's also on the mic. Are there going to be certain things he can't say as ESPN, being derogatory to a ball frog?
I think it's an ESPN issue. He's a direct competitor now.
That's fair. He's also breaking the glass ceiling of a non-major winner getting the chair. I think this has just not been a thing. I know last year they had to bake off with, Luke Donald and Brad Faxon and others, but the main guy, permanent main guy, has always I don't know if it's unwritten rule or written rule. You had to have won a major. Kisner has not won a major. Has he played in a Ryder Cup? I don't think he has. I think he's been in Pres Cup. I know that. So look, I don't care. Doesn't mean you can't talk about it. Some of the best players in the world have been the worst analysts. I think about Emmitt Smith in the NFL. Terrible.
DL3. DL3 was the worst ever golf version of this.
Right. I don't want to gatekeep credentials here, but I think for Ryder Cup, it's a little different. I would love to see him bring McGinley back in. He was great with the P Cup. That's his lane. He's good at that.
The front foot.
I watched that documentary. He's in there so much.
How was the documentary?
You put them on the back foot there on Friday morning, and you get the momentum, and then you see what the boys have in their heart, the medal. It was good. It was a good documentary. It's also made by the European Tour about the European team and a big win. So, like, the controversial stuff's not going to be in there. I don't know that there was much controversy, quite honestly, from their side. But that doesn't mean it's. I thought it was good. It was
kind of like the
it.
PGA Tour show being produced by a company owned by the PGA Tour.
Well, yeah, no, it's good. It was good. It's a document worth having.
That's what all these documentaries are now,
right? Right, and it's not like it's hidden in any way. It's by the European Tour on the European Tour, and so they've got some of it was melodramatic, like Luke Donald walking on a pier in Juno Beach and staring out at the ocean and stuff. Like, it was a little bit much, but it was good. It was good perspective, and I think you understand why it works for them. Like,
it would have been more dramatic if Luke Donald was walking out on that pier during a tsunami war.
It would have been. It would have been. But you understand why it means something, why it works. Any reaction to Kisner? It's powerful, quite honestly. It's powerful seeing Shane and some of those guys talk about the meaning of that playing for the Ryder Cup. But
yeah, I have a reaction. This is wonderful news for golf fans that there's actually a lead analyst on I think the broadcast partner that shows the most golf.
I think it's close. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think, like,
got 2 majors.
Maybe the most important thing to having a good broadcast is rapport and with the announcer and analyst.
Mm-hmm.
And it's impossible to have good rapport and chemistry if there is no permanent lead analyst.
Mm-hmm.
So this is great that it can build familiarity. This is great news. And I think Kevin Kisner is a great choice. I think Kisner's connected with the game. You want somebody connected with the game that he's got humor. Like, golf is a slower sport. You need somebody that can fill up time with stories and quips, and I think he fits the bill. He's great. He's played in all the tournaments. He's contended in really big tournaments. He hasn't won, but he's contended in an Open. He was in the final group of Open at Carnoustie. He almost won the Players. Like, real credential, bona fide, really great tour player, really good tour player.
Yeah,
he didn't play on a Ryder Cup team, did he?
No,
only Peak Cup.
Just Liberty National, I believe.
Well, there wasn't enough tournaments at Austin Country Club for. Then we would have gotten him.
Needed multiple stops at Colonial and Harbortown and places like that.
I know you listen to Bill Simmons. I love when he does his, like, thing about how he sees, like, these, like, TikTok reels about Jason Williams, and it's like, Jason Williams was a problem. It's gonna be like Kevin Kisner was a problem, and it's all highlights of him playing, like, little short golf courses.
Say no hobby, just shouting the say no hobby as he
20 years from now.
Yeah,
20 years
from now.
I can pull that up on TikTok right now. I can pull that up on TikTok right now if I wanted to. I guarantee it.
I do think he does seem a little more unfiltered, which is, I think, what we want too. A little bit of candidness on both the players, what we're watching, because it's a right partner, and that always gets a little dicey. So, all right. Next news. LPGA policy, gender policy. They've announced that a policy that forbids players assigned male at birth and have gone through male puberty are ineligible for women's professional events, including LPGA Tour, Epson, Ladies European Tour, U.S. Women's Open. This was announced by USGA, and LPGA came with their own sort of facsimile of this a couple minutes later. So it's sort of a joint release. Seems driven by Mike Wan and the USGA and not the LPGA, just reading between the lines or reading the tea leaves on that. So that was announced.
Hold on. I'm seeing if our guy Jody Brothers commented on it. Nope, nothing.
Tour minute.
Nothing from our guy. Doesn't seem like he's on Twitter anymore.
Oh, that's a shame. I wonder if he still subscribes to the Friday, or he hit the hard eject button like Peter Jacobson.
Not enough Epson Tour. Oh, here he is. Here he is. I found him.
All right.
No comment yet from Jody Brothers.
Okay. And then this is exactly my kind of content in December. I think we have a Torque has a real copyright issue.
This is the opposite of the high flyers.
This
situation.
Is incredible drama, like right up my alley for December. The new WNBA team, the Toronto Tempo.
Good name. Like that name.
It's fine. Toronto Tempo. It's the same logo. Very slight alterations. Toronto Tempo basically ripped off the Torque logo. And I hope this creates recriminations, outcries, lawsuits, and we have a WNBA LIV Golf logo war. I want that. We need
My question is, could a potential settlement here open up some cap room for Torque to make a big move in the hot stove season? Could they have gotten into the Thomas Peters sweepstakes had they had this cash on hand?
That's another. That's fair.
I mean, Peters was traded for simply cash. I mean, how do you let a former Ryder Cupper go for just cash? PJ, would if you were offered tomorrow a GM spot for a LIV team, would you resign your position here?
I feel like for the bit, I might have to. I feel like for the bit, I might have to. Imagine just DJ calling me up, being like, "Hey man, you want Thomas Peters?" I don't know. I feel like that would be hard to turn down.
So you're available to be a GM.
If anybody, I'd really love to consult. If I could do both, I'd really love to kind of thread that needle.
I mean, you've really done wonders for my fantasy football team. So I think that these LIV Golf teams should be considering this.
I wouldn't let Thomas Peters go for just cap space. No, sir.
Well, the thing about it is the Goats don't even have a captain. They allowed him to be relegated.
Got relegated, right? Yeah. I mean, he's got a contract.
So you got to wonder, who is calling the shots? For is it just open season?
Headless ship. That's true. That was another great DJ statement that I don't think he said. Like, I've watched Thomas all year. I'm really impressed. Okay. Let's get to golf advice. SGS golf advice.
DJ played, wasn't it? Didn't they pair? Who was it? Did they pair Peters and Rory against DJ and
Brooks? I think they were Bash brothers back then at Hazeltine.
Yeah, and it was Peters and Rory. Maybe he's holding on to those memories from that great Thomas Peters showcase at Hazeltine.
Yeah. Peters one and done, maybe Ryder Cup. Who knows? Hazeltine though. He made his moment.
Feels like it.
I
think he's pretty happy living in Belgium.
Totally.
I mean, this is a pairing of happy boys. DJ's happy with his boat. Peters is happy he doesn't have to just live in the US, you know? That's a good vibes team. Well, you know, speaking of another member of the Aces, did you see Patrick Reed's commentary?
No. What did he say?
Oh, I got something on you here.
Sure. I mean, I might have seen it. What did he say?
Patrick Reed has a proposal of how we could reintegrate.
Oh.
Not really, but kind of. The minimum on the PGA Tour is 15 events, he says. Okay. Then there's 14 more on LIV. Then there's the majors. That's a lot of events. But if a guy is willing to do all of that and plays well enough to keep his cards, he should have the right to play. The same is true of that DP World Tour. If you play your 4 events and play well enough to keep your card, you should be able to tee it up the following season. If someone doesn't meet his minimums, that's the time to hit him hard with fines and suspensions. Not when he turns his back on the tour. Because you're taking a spot away from someone else. I think of the BMW PGA at Wentworth. I remember guys in the top 60 of the world rankings coming in to play for that 1 week situation. Many on the DP World Tour didn't like that. I understood that. They were losing spots in the tour's flagship event. But if a guy wants to play more than 30 events in a year in order to stay a member of multiple tours, more power to him, Reed continues. In a perfect world, you are qualified. You should be able to play wherever you want. But if you have to play the minimums, and if you don't, you get hit with a $1 million or $2 million fine or a huge suspension. I don't really care, but hit him hard where it's going to hurt. So it sounds like
injuries.
Sounds like Patrick Reed wants to play like 35 events a year.
Well, he's always done that. I mean, not that many, but he's always he's essentially calling out the guys you want to rest. You'd have guys like just going down like they do on the football field when the guys are going pace, like, oh, hurt my leg, can't play for 5 weeks. It's just, I guess there's nothing you could do. Just keep my card. I'm hurt. There's nothing I could do.
I saw this headline, clicked into the article, and I have to ask, is Patrick Reed actually maybe one of the players we miss the most?
Sure. I mean, we said this for a couple of years. He just went ghost.
He's never. I saw it. I clicked on the article. It's like, I haven't heard Patrick Reed say anything in a really long time.
Yeah.
Never seen. He's like, is it Buster or Tobias? And it's Buster. Never seen or never heard in Arrested Development.
Yeah.
It's like that's what he is now. And I think at his core, sure, he got a bag of money, but at his core, Patrick Reed is like a hyper competitive athlete. And to me, it's got to be killing him that he can only play these certain amount of events. Because as you said, he always played 28 events a year.
Yeah.
There's only a couple events a year he could play it.
Yeah. Yeah. He's crazy.
And then he's playing these fake tournaments.
He legitimately might be happier because you don't hear from him. You don't hear from Justine. They might just have gone on their happy way. They don't have to deal with this anymore. Honestly.
He can crash his Porsche and total it and not have any repercussions.
Yeah. Should we go golf advice? Go to golf advice. You have your TGL hole. We might have to save that, or we could do it today.
Well, I can just show it. I'm gonna do
We'll do a whole presentation
for people on YouTube. I'm gonna make a social reel. It'll be on Instagram.
200-foot drop off.
Probably my personal and Friday.
All right. There we go. Let's go to golf advice. Send it to sgsgolfadvice@gmail.com. Here we go. This is from cheating on a caddy roll. This is from Doug. 51, no interest in fighting. This may be somebody you know. I'm a member of a B-level club in a suburban Chicago. I've been out there 15 years. I've seen a lot of incredible behavior. In the TV show, if the TV show The Office took place at a country club, I'm pretty sure it would be our club. We have a great membership with a handful of your requisite douchebags that continually reveal themselves. This is a story from I won't say when, numbers of years ago, about one such douchebag. And he goes into the tradition is the dice roll. I think this is pretty common. I don't he gives a paragraph on it. I'm not going to read it. You roll the dice at the turn for who pays for the caddies, brats and Gatorade or hot dog and whatever. And you got 5 dice. One is wild. The lowest total pays the tab for all for the caddies. He says losing the roll will cost you around $50 over the course of the season. It evens out in theory. The rules for the dice roll are simple. I just went through those. All right. People know this pretty much. For this story, a group of longtime older members, quote, rolled into the halfway house on a Saturday morning. One of the members, we will call him Mr. Gold, literally decided to take matters into his own hands during the caddy roll. When it was his turn to roll, he put 4 of the dice into the cup and hit a single die in the palm of his hand. He rolled the 4 dice onto the counter and then sneakily slid the die on the counter in the palm of his hand with the 1 showing. So the wild 1. A disgusting attempt to cheat your buddies. He's cheating at the dice roll, putting 4 in the cup and putting 1 in the palm. One of the other members in the group saw the blatant cheating move and chaos ensued. Lots of yelling from the other members in the group. Eyewitness accounts, halfway house worker, claimed that Mr. Gold denied cheating on the roll, but the evidence was undeniable, unquestionable. The member that caught him palming the die is a former board member and generally one of the most conservative straight shooters out there. Word of this scandal quickly leaked to the rest of the membership. Mr. Gold's reputation obviously has taken a hit from those who know the story, but generally the club did nothing to punish him. I've seen members kicked out or suspended for less. Mr. Gold and his family are longtime members and still quite active in club events, which I think has saved him. He is I don't want to give him away. He has a nice title, and so I'm sure he's not strapped for cash. On the golf course, Mr. Gold has been involved in some questionable rulings. I can imagine during tournaments. One in a match with me, and there's always been chatter about his index being BS. My opinion is he should be kicked. I wonder if it's
high or low.
My opinion is he should be kicked out of the club at a minimum, face a suspension for cheating on the caddy roll. Golf is a game built on honesty. How can you have a cheater teamed up in your club events? My question for SGS Golf Advice is, what is the appropriate punishment from the club for this cheating incident that not take place technically on the course, but is an indicator of poor character? This is suburban Chicago. Your people cheating on the dice roll at the caddy halfway for something that's $50 at a max.
I feel bad for suburban Chicago golf courses after this morning's design disaster recordings.
Oh, yeah, we hit some. We hit them good. What do you got? Dice roll thrown out of the club for?
I think that's a little. I don't know. Is this like just stop hanging out with them? That's as simple as it is. Like, okay, I had a friend that I witnessed cheat. And I never played golf with him again. We were playing a money game. And I just said, you know what? Life's too short to play golf with him. And I haven't played golf with him ever since.
This is
like, you know what? That's all you had to do. Make a personal decision not to interact with him. If he signs up in your T group, change your T group.
Move.
You know? And if he says something, be like, yeah, you cheated at the dice roll. I don't respect that. Is that like a crazy thing to do? Just to personally avoid him? Let other people deal with him?
I guess it's just, if you're cheating at something so small time and in such a blatant way as taking the dice out of the cup, like what else is going on at the club? Like what's the slippery slope? This really opens up all number of more harmful possibilities where he could be cheating at everything and anything that maybe is cheating the club in a significant way. Now, I don't know if you throw him out. I think the damage is done when he's caught, and he should be isolated and sort of ostracized in a way. I did go because, Andy, we've been accused of just being too detached from the high-end country club scene these days. So I did go to a source.
Detached.
We're not playing enough at country club to deal. Let me tell you what. I know how to answer a caddy dice roll situation. So I asked someone, friend of the program is, at a high-end country club, maybe in the New Jersey.
Oh. Look at you doing a little research.
My take is that when you're at a club, you generally get to choose who you play with. If you think he's a cheapskate cheater, then just don't play with him. So similar to what you said. He must have friends in a regular group that he plays with, and it's their problem if he's the cheapskate. And as you know, caddies talk. The caddies think he's cheap and a crappy tipper. They will ask for loops from other guys. I don't think he should be kicked out for this. But your reputation should be dinged. Maybe your friend circle tightens up. Until you have evidence of him cheating on the course, I don't think you can do anything about his membership at the club. He then called another friend at his fancy New Jersey country club who said, you went through the process to join a club. He said he should be kicked out. He should be thrown out of the club immediately because he's a cheater. So conflicting advice from two high-end country club bros. You went through the process to join a club, and inherent in that
great golf advice
is that you have integrity and you carry that through all your affairs. If you're going to cheat your friends out of money, that's not something you want at your club. His integrity is shot. He's got to go. An interesting question.
PJ, what would you do?
I don't think you could kick him out, but I would, as you said, if you're cheating on something as trivial as this, I can't imagine it's worth your time to be around.
Seems like a bad cheater too, putting the dice in your hand.
That's the thing.
Something my 10-year-old would, not that he would, but it's like a little kid would do. All right, next one. I'm in favor of throwing him out, to be clear. All right. Am I the a-hole? Canadian Simulator Golf. I
love Am I the Asshole? That's just generally a great way to start these.
This guy's got some good stuff. 40 years old, one stepkid, no interest in fighting, but my 70-year-old former pro hockey player father still has some interest in throwing hands, which is relevant to the story. 70-year-old former pro hockey player. I live in Canada, which means long winters for golf sickos. It obviously means some simulator golf is necessary to scratch the itch. My dad and I like to meet up on Thursdays during the winter at a sim golf facility, as it's a good chance to hit a few balls and catch up. This place books by the hour, and we have it booked from noon to 1. We get there at 11:45 for our hour time on the screen. The place has like 25 screens. There's 2 guys playing around on the screen that we have booked, and they're starting to go over their time into our book time. It's 12. It's 12:01, 12:02. Us standing there and me glaring at them while holding a club doesn't seem to be getting their attention. Finally, at 5 after 12, I say, hey guys, we have this booked for noon. The guy number 1, who is a burly boy, says to me, come on, we only have a hole and a half left. Guy, I say, yeah, that's great, but I'm not waiting for you to finish. We have it booked for an hour and you're taking our time. Let's go. Guy number 2, even burlier boy. Dude, you got to let us finish this round. I got a hole in 1. He's very excited.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure why. Maybe I was cranky at them taking our time and pissed off, but I blurred out without much thought. It's screen golf. That doesn't mean anything. I watched porn last night, and that doesn't mean I got laid. So that's a really on the spot comeback about a simulator hole in 1. Burly boy 1 and 2 kind of stare at me in shock while my dad starts almost rolling on the ground, howling with laughter. The 3 of us are kind of all staring at each other, and after a few moments, Burly boy 2 begins to chirp and then takes a step towards me. Now he has our full attention as my dad gets off his chair, the former hockey player, pro hockey player, and they start walking towards one another in a not overly kind manner. Knowing my dad's proclivities towards fighting and Burly Boy 2's larger size, I've realized this could go bad quickly. Burly Boy 1 must have realized this as well, as he grabs Burly Boy 2 by the arm and is calming him down as I get in front of my old man. Burly Boy 1 turns to us and says, it's fine. It's your effing time. It's fine. Just effing take the sim. They grab their clubs, and as they exit the bay, I resist the temptation to ask if he kept his hole in 1 ball. This guy's got some good takes. They don't leave. Instead, they stand in the middle of the facility, mumbling to one another and glaring at me while I start warming up. Nothing else happened from there, and they eventually left. 2 questions. What should you do in this situation when someone's going over their allotted time? What is the protocol here? 2, am I the a-hole for what I said to the guy about his hole in 1? I, too, hate listening to other people's hole in 1 stories and have even less patience for hearing about the one you got on a simulator. What a great line.
I think he should have asked if he saw the ball go in. Did you see the ball go in?
Did you keep the ball? There's just balls scattered around the little bay. Did you keep the ball from your simulator?
Rory, did it go in?
No.
Rory, did it go in?
I love that you're so excited.
I think you handled this beautifully. I think like you probably went a little bit overboard with the whole 1. I probably would have done the exact same thing, except I would have said, well, I don't care that you got a hole in 1. It's my time to use the simulator. You should have finished the round in time.
Yeah, should have been faster.
This is the deal with screen golf. You know your time, and you get the thing done before the time. And ideally, like the perfect screen golf session is you finish your round and you got 10 minutes to fuck around at the end of the time. And you hit balls, you go to the driving, you go to the driving range. These guys, Burly Boy 1 and 2, probably were glacially slow, and they got what they deserved.
Yeah, you can't, it's a 1 hour time. Now you're taking off. Now you're asking this guy paid to what? Spend 40 minutes? And no, it's a hard stop. You got to be out, and that's it. What do you think of the hole in 1 on a simulator? How much weight do you give those, Andy? I think I know the answer to this. Is that something?
None whatsoever. I think we're going to see a lot of TGL hole in 1s.
I was going to say, do we think it's getting rigged? Like, do we think we're going to have indoor fireworks? What is the celebration? There's going to be something: smoke, fire, pyrotechnics. What do we think that's going to be?
PJ, we gotta get you down to the SoFi Center.
I mean, it's a made-for-TV thing, right? Essentially. So yes, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some pyrotechnics, and I don't know that I'm going to call into the question the competitive integrity of the thing, that there's screen hole-in-ones that maybe weren't, on the up and up. I have a question about if guys are going to get angry. like really mad at Hole Design, like Tyrrell Hatton, like they're competitive, like nut jobs.
No way. No way.
We got some bad feedback about good feedback and bad. Like
I take hour 5 of this pod. You can have some fun on the soundboard.
People don't like the soundboard.
Some people love the soundboard.
Some people love the soundboard. Somebody said lose the drive time radio hijink soundboards. One very serious fella was not happy about it.
Somebody said they were going to stop listening to the pod because of the soundboard.
So I have more emails, but I don't think we'll get to that. Good simulator hole in one. Good one-liner from the guy. And then cheating at the dice roll. Pretty good.
I can't wait to debut my design.
Yeah. I want to say,
what do you think I should call it? What should the name be? Roller coaster?
Just call
something.
Jam or be jammed. I don't know. You could it could go all sorts of different ways.
The jammer? The jammer?
The jammer. Well, this is what I'm saying. I can see Justin Thomas playing your hole. He gets bumped off into like something he didn't expect. Are we breaking clubs? Like, how intense are these guys going to get about the screen? Could be interesting.
The jammer.
The jammer.
540-yard par 4.
All right. Fast approaches TGL season. We got to figure out what we're doing for that. So, all right.
I think we got to do the Ball Frogs Jupe Links. The problem is that PGA shows the week before.
That's not a problem.
I can't stay.
You
I
want to
can't
see
be
Third Eye
around for
Blind? That
10
bad?
days.
You got to go see Third Eye Blind.
I was gonna go see a Magic game.
No, you can go to a Magic game another time. I don't know. If you're going to, that's a long time in Florida. I wouldn't do that necessarily.
Maybe I'll go to Disney World.
You could
bring the family down.
There you go. All right, everyone, enjoy your weekends. We'll be back Monday. Talk some Hero World Challenge, and jump back into the year in review next week. Looks like you're going for the soundboard, but I hope not. All right, everyone, enjoy your weekend.
How'd you know I was going for the soundboard?
I can tell your face, the arm
you
reach,
don't hide
the
it
shoulder
well.
move.
You can see where your eyes are darting across the screen, and you start to smile a little bit. You have a plan.
We're very observant on this end. All right, everyone, enjoy your weekend.
Rory, did it go in?
We will talk. Rory, did it go in? We will talk to you on Monday.
No, Michael. Everybody's cheering because I missed the green 15 yards right.
Talk to you then.